Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a tutorial on how to use some of the mods in the mod pack New Beginnings, which is the mod pack that is being used for the server I run for my Discord server. So if you want to come and play any of these mods with us, you can join the Discord server. The link should be in the description. And yeah, come hang out with us. But other than that, let's just get into some of the mods that I find to be the most useful, the most helpful, and kind of the ones that are very easy to overlook. So the first one I want to talk about is really straightforward. It's literally just called inventory sort. All you do is you press the middle mouse button in your inventory and it sorts everything into rows. It will collapse stacks together. It will order things together. Like here's a better example, I think, unless it's sorted already. So see, I often use it in this pile. So like all the corn seeds are together and all the wheat seeds are together and stuff like that. It's really helpful if you have a ton of stuff in your inventory and you're having trouble finding certain things, or if you split stacks a ton of times and you want them all to be restacked together. It's really useful for that. Next thing is also in your inventory. This is JEI, it's called. That stands for just enough items. It is basically a catalog, you could say, of all of the items in Minecraft, in this version of Minecraft. So it has every single item that you can think of that exists in the game. It's useful in a bunch of different ways. So first of all, there's a search bar at the bottom. So if you are looking for a specific recipe, so let's say I wanted to make birch fence, I can do that. And look, there's even a couple different variations of that one item. So that's the search bar. And if you want, you can hover over an item in your inventory. Let's say you picked up something that you really don't understand what it's good for. Like, let's say carpet. What can I use carpet for? Press U on your keyboard. Well, make sure you're not typing in the search bar. Then press U on your keyboard. And apparently this is not used in any recipes. So let's do it over here. Okay, if you press U on your keyboard, this is what happens. It shows you all of the recipes. I can see it's 8 pages. All of the recipes that use that item in the recipe. So if you're wondering, why should I pick up this flower? Why should I pick up this wood? Why should I pick up this special item? Or, this job from a mob, this can tell you what it's used for. At the same time, if you pick up something and you want to know how to make it, you can press R over the item and it will show you all of the ways that you can make that item, all the different recipes that will bring you to that item. Now, also in the search bar, if you put an @ symbol before searching, it will search specifically for all of the items within a certain mod. So for example, if I wanted furniture from one of the furniture mods, I would search @furniture. And that will show me only the items that are in Macaw's furniture or Mr. Crayfish's furniture mod. You can do at Minecraft to get vanilla items. And basically, if you know what a mod pack an item is from and you want to make multiple items from that mod pack, it's helpful to search the name of the mod pack. Also, you can hover over an item in this menu over here and press A to favorite it. As you see, I went over here to my favorites. That's useful for if you are making a lot of one item, but maybe are making different things in between, so it doesn't make sense to, just craft a bunch at once. You can favorite it, and then you can easily click that recipe in the top left corner. Another thing you can do, so if you're in this menu and you click on an item, let's say an oak bookshelf, it will show you the recipe. And if you have the ingredients, you can press this button. So I only have my inventory open, but let's say I had a crafting pad open. So it'll show you the recipes. And then if you have, let's say I had 6 oak planks and 3 books in my inventory, you can just press this button and it will fill the crafting pad with those items out of your inventory. It will pull out from your inventory and put it into the crafting pad. So it makes shaped crafting a lot easier because you don't have to like specifically like grab a book, put it there, grab a book, put it there. It just automatically autofills the recipe. And if you hover over it when you don't have the items, it will show you specifically what items you're missing. So for more complicated recipes, obviously that is more useful. So let's say this, now I can see, you know, if I was just missing, if I had 5 glass, but I thought I had enough glass, it would show me that I only had 5 glass and not the amount that I needed. Also, if you are looking at a recipe, and let's say, for example, there is lapis lazuli, you can get it by crafting these items, but you can also get it up here. It tells you the other methods to get it. So you can also smelt lapis lazuli ore, and that gets you lapis. You can also melt it in a blasting furnace. And as you click on these different methods, on the left, if you click these, it will show you how to make the machine that makes the original recipe you were looking at. So for example, if I wanted to use a blasting smelter, in order to do this, I just click over here on blast furnace and it takes me to the recipe for a blast furnace. Next thing is also in your inventory, and it is arguably the most helpful thing. It's a crafting pad. So instead of having to run to a crafting table every time you want to make something, you can just open this crafting pad in your inventory, and it works just like a normal crafting table. It works with JEI, it works with everything. It's literally just you craft together a crafting table, a normal crafting table, and put a stick underneath it in the crafting grid, and you will have this mobile crafting pad whenever you want it. Okay, the next big mod that I want to explain is called Journey Map. It is as you can see in the top right corner, it is a mini map, but it also has a lot of other uses. So if you press J, it opens the full screen map. If you want to, it has a waypoint system within it in order to mark different locations. So as you can see over there, I marked Alex's house. Over there, I marked where our end portal and stronghold is located. Stuff like that. If you want to create a waypoint at the place that you are currently standing, you can just press B, and it will auto-populate all the location information, and then you can change this to say whatever you want it to say. You can also change the color. You can also change which dimension you're in. It will auto-select the dimension that you are currently in. So right now it says I'm in the overworld, but if I was in the nether, it would say nether. Otherwise, if you want to access your waypoints, you can go to the bottom left corner right here. It says waypoints. Click on that, and it will open up a list of the waypoints. I have an option to teleport to them. You shouldn't, because I'm on this server. But here you can click find to find it to display it on the map. You can click on and off in order to have it displayed on your UI. You can click remove to delete it. You can click edit in order to edit it. And you can hit chat in order to put it in chat. And then you can send it, and other people can click on it and chat, and it will automatically be added to their map. So for example, the other day someone was looking for a desert, and I knew where a desert was, so I put a waypoint down and sent it to them, and they were able to add it to their map and then find the desert. There's also lots of options. Like up here, you can have it display the map in daytime mode, in nighttime mode. It can show just the topography of the locations. It can show cave layers. You can choose which layer it shows on here. And if you want it to just be focused on you, where you are at the current moment and on which level you're currently on, then you want to press follow, which is the little target over here, and then it will automatically snap back to where you are. So I'm currently, outside, out of a cave, and it's daytime, so that's why it's displaying such as this. Other than that, there's like a ton of options you can do. Like you can change how the mini map looks. You can change how the full screen map looks. You can change how waypoints work and the beacons work. There's a ton of different options in here. You can also change the UI theme to different things. Actually, I kind of like that one better. And yeah, that is good for exploring and for remembering where certain biomes are for finding certain resources. So, speaking of biomes, there's also a mod installed called Biomes Aplenty. That basically just adds a bunch of different biomes to the game that are new and different to the vanilla biomes. So, for example, I believe over here is a different version of a swamp. I believe it's called a marsh. There's also down here, there's a mangrove. Over here, there's an autumnal forest, so it's like always, got maple trees that have different color leaves. There's just a ton of different variations, mostly different variations on the original vanilla biomes, but they all come with their own trees, flowers, landscapes, animals, all different things. So exploring them can be very beneficial. If you see some sort of a raw resource that you don't recognize, it's probably just from a biome that you haven't explored yet. So yeah, there is, I believe, 30 or 47 different biomes. There's 69 different biomes now instead of the vanilla biomes. So lots to explore and try to find. Next thing I want to talk about is actually quite similar to the journey map, but it is a little bit different. So there are these things called Waystones. They are randomly generated throughout the world currently, and they basically work very similar to the waypoints in the map, but instead of only seeing them in the distance, like I see those ones, and I can just like walk towards it, you can in fact travel between these waypoints. So normally it doesn't look like this. Normally it's like just plain gray, and it doesn't have these like runes on it. And so if you right click on it, as it says right there, it activates it, and then if you right click on it again, it provides a list of all of your activated locations. So you can actually pick them up and move them if you wanted to. This one is our like official like spawn location one, so this one stays here. But if you find another one in the world or craft one, you can place it down, for example, near your home, and then people will be able to travel to your home directly from spawn, or if they have one at their house, they can travel from their house to your house, different stuff like that. We, for example, have one that is at our stronghold end portal location, so you can instantly travel there if you needed to go to the end. It does cost experience levels to use, so it's not entirely free. You can't just do it over and over and over again, but it is an instant teleport as opposed to just like having to walk there. Unfortunately, you cannot rename them, so you just have to remember which one is which. So like I'm pretty sure this one is one of my friends, is someone's house that I can go and visit, and I believe this one is the one that's near the end portal. And yes, this is the one at spawn, so you can start with at least one in your list. It's the Azaxormed one. They're randomly generated names. Okay, so next thing I want to talk about is Silent Gear. It is a mod that introduces blueprints into the game. If you've ever used mods before and you've used Tinker's Construct, it is basically like a lighter version of that. So instead of creating vanilla tools, you're going to want to craft. Here, let me grab some materials. Hold on. So the way it works is that there is a blueprint for every part of a tool. So there is the pickaxe. This is just for the pickaxe head. This is for the shovel head. This is for the axe head. This is for a shield. And this is for a machete. And this is the tool rod that you have to make to go along with the head of a tool. So the way it works is that you put it in the crafting table with the usual amount of materials that it would make to make, for example, a pickaxe. And then it will make the pickaxe head. So the thing that's good about this is that you are able to, so every material has different qualities. So as you can see, this one is made fully out of osmium, so it is malleable too. And if you hold down control, you can see all of the other details about it. So let's say if I used osmium and a diamond to make the pickaxe head. So use 1 diamond and 2 osmium. Then I would make a diamond pickaxe head. Synergy is basically the amount of compatibility that the two materials have. So osmium is quite a low quality material, and diamond's obviously really high, but that gives the qualities of lustrous and malleable. So now it's less malleable because it has less osmium in it, but it is also less lustrous as it would be than it would be if it was all diamond. But this way you are able to mix and match different qualities. I'm not sure off the top of my head what all the qualities are, so you'd have to look it up if you wanted to know. But yeah, it also will give each different item different stats, aka different harvesting levels and mining levels. So, for example, it is very similar to the hierarchy in vanilla Minecraft, where you go from stone, iron, wood, stone, iron, diamond. It basically follows that same thing, but if you mix and match materials, it might give you a different harvest level or mining level. You can also repair the tools by crafting them with their original materials. So I have some copper here, so therefore I can repair this copper axe. You are able to repair an item with any material that is better than the material you used. So for example, I can use iron to repair this copper axe, but you can't use a worse material to repair it. So I can't use stone or wood to repair my copper axe because it is primarily made of copper. So therefore I can use copper or better, but I cannot use worse than copper. If this is all too confusing and going over your head, you can totally just use the vanilla tools as well. They will not break as they and disappear from your inventory as they normally do. They will get down to broken and stop functioning, and at that point you can repair them just the way I explained you can repair the silent gear tools. Next thing I want to explain to you is these drawers. These are very helpful. They are way, way, way better than chests. Mostly because you can see what you are dealing with from just looking at them. So the way this works is every drawer can hold a single type of material. So for example, this is where I keep all my maple saplings. This is where I keep all my honeycombs. This is where I keep all my buckets of water. How many stacks the drawer can hold depends on what size and type of drawer you create. So you definitely want to make sure you have the storage drawers mod. As you can see, it says in blue that it's the storage drawers mod drawers. And so for example, this drawer can hold 32 stacks of something. This is a double drawer, so it can only hold 16 stacks per drawer. I usually use the 2x2, which holds 8 stacks per drawer, because that's usually, you don't normally need more storage than that for most materials, because you'll be using them as you go. I have stone in my hand right now. To put it away, I right click once to put away that stack. And if you right click twice, it will take all of the compatible material and put it from your inventory into the drawer. So even though I'm not holding stone right now, if I double right click, it still takes all the stone out of my inventory. If you don't want to add a whole stack, you can split the stack and then only put away one stack, one partial stack. To remove items from the drawer, you are going to click once and you shift click to take a whole stack of that item. Now these right here are drawer controllers, and they are very, very, very helpful. They basically make the drawers as helpful as it can be. So the way it works is this turns all of these drawers into kind of a collective network. So if it has the same controls as a normal drawer, but it applies to all of the drawers around it. So for example, instead of being like, where's all the iron? I don't know where my iron is. I need to look and, take time out of my day to find it. I can just right click on this and it will automatically take it. And if the drawer is connected to the controller via other drawers and it is within 12 blocks, it will automatically sort into the correct drawer. And if you double right click, it will take everything out of your inventory that belongs to any compatible drawer and put it in that drawer. So right now I have iron and stone in my inventory, and if I double right click, it all goes away, stone going into its stone drawer and iron going into its iron drawer. Again, this only works for drawers that are either directly connected or connected through other drawers to a drawer controller. So that's why I have one here and I have one here. Because this only applies to these drawers, and this controller only applies to these drawers. So the next mod I'm going to show you is a kind of a helpful one for mining. It is ore excavation, it's called. Basically, if you are holding an appropriate tool and you look at any sort of material that tool is used to normally break. So for example, for ores and stone, you would use this pickaxe. For dirt and sand, you would use a shovel, etc. If you hold down tilde, which is the top left button underneath escape on your keyboard, while you're mining, instead of just mining that single piece, you will mine it along with all adjacent materials of the same type. So for example, there's a bunch of tin ore right here. Now I could just mine the single tin ore, but if I hold tilde, I will instead mine all of it. So all of it just went into my inventory, all 4 of it instead of just 1. This, however, will, this was a bad example because there was only 4, but it will, in fact, deteriorate your tool quite quickly if you do it in large amounts, and it will also make you hungry as though you had mined it the old-fashioned way. I also really don't recommend using it on the sort of materials like dirt or stone, especially on the surfaces, because it will just make giant craters that are frankly ugly and kind of take up space that other people could be building on. It also will destroy your pickaxe in absolutely no time, especially when it comes to mining stone. I've done it by accident a couple times and it almost always breaks my tool. And lastly, the last little tool that I would like to recommend is elevators. So as you can see right here, I have a white elevator. Basically, there's 2 elevator blocks that you have to craft, and if you place them at the same X and Y location, so the same, north, south coordinate and west, east coordinate, but at different layers, they will connect and you'll be able to teleport between them. So for example, right now I'm on level 77 of the world, but if I just crouch, I go immediately down to level 6. So I'm at the bottom of my mine currently, and it just took 1 press of a button. If I want to go back up, I just jump and it teleports me back up immediately. It's very helpful for if you want to have a very deep mine. Like for example, mine is almost at bedrock. So there is a little bit of bedrock actually showing. And that way you don't have to jump downstairs. You don't have to try to land in water to travel quickly down to the bottom of your mine. You can just either jump or crouch. Okay, so those are basically my top 10 mods in the mod pack New Beginnings, which is the mod pack that we are using on our server, our community server. These are the ones that I find I use the most. They are the most useful and just kind of general functional type mods that will just help you with your quality of life when it comes to playing Minecraft. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you will be able to use some of these mods in the future as you kind of explore the server and the world. Look at that sunset, it's beautiful. And yeah, I will see you guys next week with another video, and until then, later days.